Liam Neeson, has developed a reputation of sorts for movies about kidnappings. When I say he's developed a reputation, he only does movies about kidnappings. He returns to the big screen this week in the cheerfully entitled A Walk Amongst the Tombstones.
Lovely. Once again, he's toting a gun, a drinking problem and a past full of regrets. But is it a hard-boiled crime story worth seeing? We sent movie man Jason Jabba Davis to investigate. Jabs. I mean, you read this and you think, I've heard it before. Is it worth it?
If it's your cup of tea, I mean, you know, hasn't Liam Neeson become the go-to troubled guy? You know, we can forgive this guy for getting away with murder, literally. He's like the pale Denzel Washington. But unlike The Equalizer, which came out recently and had lots of blood and gore, this one has it for a reason. He's basically a retired cop, Matt Scudder. This is based on a really big series of detective novels. In 1990, things have gone wrong for him in his career, so he becomes a private detective. He reluctantly takes on a case to find the kidnapped wife of a drug dealer who's paid the ransom, but the wife gets murdered anyway. This is very similar to David Fincher's Zodiac, which was a really compelling true crime story about a serial killer, and this has got really similar echoes of that. So if you're in the mood for something spooky, something drizzly, rainy for a weekend, check this out. If you're a fan of his films like Taken, I think the third one's coming out next year, then you're going to love this. It is really gruesome, though. I will warn people, you know, it's a little bit like a horror film.
Well, graphically gruesome.
Or is it suggested?
It's all there. It's all there. It's very gruesome. He's very much like his Lego movie character, Good Cop, Bad Cop. That's basically...
that was a terrific character.
Yeah, that was a great character. 3.5 stars. A really solid film from him.
I think you just have to say, by the way, Jabba, if you're comparing Denzel and Liam, he's more than just pale by comparison, probably. He's the other end of the spectrum.
Well, he's a bit more Irish,
albino.
I think.
Yeah, albino.
You know,
he's a bit more Irish than Denzel.
Yeah.
Now, he's obviously cemented his status as a box office draw card, as has Angelina Jolie. Some big news this week. She's coming down under for the world premiere of her film Unbroken, which is based on the incredible story of Louis Zamperini, who was an Olympic athlete, shot down in World War II, survived POW camps. Incredible film. And she's directed that film.
Is happening in Australia.
It's happening here. She's going to be on the show in a few weeks' time. She's bringing Brad and the family to Sydney. It's very exciting stuff. She's directed that film, but it turns out she shouldn't hang up the acting boots just yet. I caught up with the executive producer of Maleficent, which is out now on DVD and iTunes, a guy called Don Hahn, who also executive produced The Lion King, to find out if there was ever another choice for the title role of Maleficent.
Now, on any other movie, you might make a list of people who could, for casting. You say, oh, there's 10 people who can play this, 10 people who can play that. We never did that on this movie, ever, from the earliest days. It was like Maleficent, Angelina Jolie. And that was it.
I know you're there. Don't be afraid.
I am not afraid.
Then come out.
Then you'll be afraid.
And Angelina Jolie, I mean, I can't say enough how much she is a part of this movie. On screen, yes, and she is all that she appears to be in terms of her performance. But behind the scenes, her sense of story, she's becoming an amazing director and filmmaker now, was such a contribution to this movie.
Maleficent wasn't just enormous for Angelina. It also helped launch the Hollywood career of home and away heartthrob Brenton Thwaites. So just how important was landing the role of young Prince Philip?
Very important. Yeah, that was my first studio movie, and like doing your first studio movie means, I guess it's kind of worth hiring Brenton Thwaites. You know what I mean? Like if Disney took a risk in me to play this very anticipated character, then why shouldn't all these indie films that followed?
And one of those indie films is out this week, co-starring. It's his first major role for Brenton Thwaites. It's Son of a Gun. He goes into prison and Ewan McGregor becomes his mentor in the film. Really amazing film shot on the West Coast. Let's take a quick look at Son of a Gun, out this week.
Now it's important to get the jump on them. So someone will crawl into the vent and drop down from the ceiling 5 minutes before the pour. Now this monkey will wave his gun around, do a bit of crowd control, and then get one of the staff to open the front door where the rest of us will be waiting.
So who's the monkey?
3.5 stars for Son of a Gun. Really entertaining film. So you can choose from an Irish guy trying to solve a crime or a Scottish guy trying to pull off a crime this week at the cinema.
Or a director called Don Hahn.
Exactly
It was
right.
good to get the interview with Don Hahn.
Yeah, it's a good chat.
Yeah,
Good chat,
next week he'll be talking to Ron Johns. Thank you, Jabba. In a moment, live music on Weekend Sunrise. Katie Noonan and friends perform the Pretenders' great hit, Him to Her. So don't miss it.